why I still choose to live in Jamaica, even when it's hard. I might be thinking that maybe, is this the right thing to do? It is amazing here. It has changed my life. It's not easy. My parents are Jamaican. I am Jamaican. I was raised in a dual household. The transition was much easier. If I go into a restaurant to buy dinner, I'm not looking at the menu asking them, what is rice and peas? All those things I knew about. Moving to Jamaica meant that I was leaving childhood friends. The majority of my family that I grew up with is in the UK. That piece was really hard because I felt very disconnected. If you don't find people that are in the same or similar situation to you, it can be very hard. It was a little bit easier for me because I am an extrovert, naturally outgoing, easy to make conversation with, easy to start a conversation, like to go out to meet people. Some people aren't like that. They're naturally introverted. They're more of a homebody. They're more intentional about the friendships that they make. They observe more situations and environments before they just go rush into it. I'm not like that. I wanted to live here as well because I wanted to understand my culture more. I wanted to know more about the history of Jamaica. I just didn't feel like I was at home in England like I feel in Jamaica. It's the emotional landscape and the decision around something that's much more deeper to me and more compelling than, my friends and family aren't here. I felt more rooted here, more grounded here. And I have a video called Why I Moved to Jamaica, the Untold Story. And that talks specifically about the cultural connection that I didn't realize that I had while living in the UK. It talks to me not knowing that I was Jamaican. No, I didn't. What makes me stay here is that I do feel culturally connected to see people that look like me more on the street, on the television, in news, in government, are the reasons why I wanted to stay. I felt more grounded and rooted when I met my fiance, Mala. Being a Rastafarian, I am so fortunate to have been exposed to that because I don't think I would have ever been exposed to eating differently, drinking differently, living differently. When you see them daily living that life, I became more curious about it. You make natural juices and straight away got a blender. And then I started to use it. And now I don't drink anything apart from natural juices. I gave up meat 2 years ago. And I'm living with a pescatarian. We're not eating fish. We're eating plant-based food. We're eating ital food. These are the things as to why I choose to stay. I know it sounds like, this is healthy living. Everyone does that. But no one is ancestral teaching. I'm learning more about me being a Black woman, Jamaican, descendants from Africa. I feel connected to the land, to nature. I never felt that way in the UK. If I was still in the UK, I'd feel older than what I am. Being here, movements that I do, whether it's Pilates, yoga, swimming, strength training, I would never think about doing that in the UK. I've built a different rhythm here in Jamaica compared to the UK. Even though it can be hard, this different way of living, which is now who I am, has benefited me much more greatly than if I decided to live out my life in England. The process for my citizenship, there were things that didn't go smoothly. Me talking to Picker to ask if I still can travel on the letter of certification and being told yes, and I leave the country not knowing that the moment I left I could potentially be deported because I never had a passport that's Jamaican and I only had my British passport, which shows that I overstayed. Those things make me question why I'm living here. It can wear you down, and it did sometimes wear me down. The long lines in the bank, the really rubbish customer service. In Jamaica, business is based on relationships. There's a lot of nepotism and cronyism here, which is across the whole entire world. But with Jamaica being so small, it's closer to you. There's colorism here as well. I've got dark skin and I know that people look at me very differently. But the moment that I open my mouth and they hear the British accent, they look at me very differently as well. They're more likely to want to listen to me or have a conversation with me than someone that doesn't have a foreign accent. And it does make me wonder if it's worth it sometimes. But then when I think about my life in the UK and the way that I was living in the UK, wearing wigs and weave and having to be less authentic about my personality, to be a bit more quieter, not have that high energy in the corporate world, there's no doubt in my mind that living here is better for me. Emotionally, mentally, and physically. Some of the experiences that I've had in Jamaica are so memorable that I wouldn't have had those in England. have more access to who I am here. I'm able to be more comfortable in my skin here. And I love it. Life is better here. My career has been amazing. It's been great for my mental health, great for my personal life, putting myself first. I could only have done that and accomplished that living in Jamaica. Meeting Mala, I would never have met him if I was still in the UK. Staying in England, I would have stayed in those toxic, dysfunctional relationships and never realized. So that's it, everybody. That's a little bit more about my life in Jamaica. I have a playlist and I'm going to link it below. It's just like a guide to living in Jamaica. I hope that you have found this extremely helpful. Thank you so much for being here. If you liked this live, be sure to like it. If you're watching the replay, bless up for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, you know what to do. And remember to learn, love, and live. Stay blessed.